trust has become a major trend in the security space, yet there's still a lot of uncertainty about what it means. Zero trust is about fundamentally changing the underlying philosophy and approach to enterprise security. My name is Karlene Stecchi, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Strategy for Tantus Technologies. I help our clients learn about and create solutions to emerging federal requirements. I have over 15 years of experience in the federal government contracting IT space, including serving as a speaker for the Health and Human Services Chief Financial Officer Consortium, presenting on challenges facing federal IT security. Today, we'll talk about zero trust, what it really means, why we need it, and potential implications for users and patients in healthcare settings. For many years, when we designed security models and architectures, we used perimeter-style security, believing that we only had to secure the perimeter, and once the user was inside of the perimeter, they were trusted to act and access only those areas they were intended to access. There was not a lot, if any, control for lateral movement within the perimeter. Think of perimeter-style security as a castle and a moat. The moat surrounds the castle, offering protection. But once you cross that moat, you're able to move freely within the castle. Increased reliance on IT systems, interconnectedness of these systems through the advanced use of the Internet of Things, advances in technology like cloud and platform as a service have really changed our threat sources and also our threat surfaces. Perimeter-style security creates vulnerabilities and significant risk in this new landscape. The perimeter has become so fluid and so dynamic in nature that the boundaries that we were used to before in perimeter-style security, they just have ultimately disappeared. But what is zero trust or zero trust architecture, and how is it different from what we're doing today? Zero trust model is centered on the belief that the organization should not automatically trust anything inside or outside the perimeter. Instead, the organization must verify anything and everything coming in to connect to its systems before granting access. Zero trust means there is zero implicit trust or zero inherited trust. Zero trust is about creating the appropriate amount of access at the appropriate time through the use of multiple access decision points and enforcement points. So now, instead of thinking of security using a castle and moat analogy, think of zero trust more like a stadium. Think about the last time you went to a football game or a concert. Once you're in, can you go wherever you want? No. You show your ticket to enter and go through security, but once inside, your free movement is controlled and relatively contained. You may be able to go to the bathroom, but generally only on the level that coordinates with your ticket. You show your ticket once you get to your section and sometimes to even get to your seat. If you have a suite, you have to show your ticket before you get on the elevator and once you get to the suite again. If you have a ticket for the 200s, you can't go down to the field or the locker room. You have to regularly show your ticket to access different parts of the stadium. In the stadium, trust must be continually validated. Why is everyone talking about zero trust architecture now? The concept of zero trust actually has been around for quite a while, with models appearing around 2010. We see some elements of it in our more advanced security architectures today. It's getting a lot of attention because of Executive Order 14028, which was issued in May of 2021. It requires agencies to enhance cybersecurity and software supply chain integrity. The order highlights many requirements, which include everything from requiring service providers to share cybersecurity incident and threat information that could impact government networks, to moving to more secure cloud services, zero trust architecture, and also mandates deployment of multi-factor authentication and encryption within a specific time period. In January 2022, a memorandum was signed and sent to the heads of all executives of federal agencies. This order is known as M2209, and it sets forth a federal zero trust architecture strategy requiring all agencies to meet specific cybersecurity standards and objectives by the end of fiscal year 2024. Is Zero Trust a technology? Zero Trust is a holistic model for securing the network, applications, and data resources with a focus on an identity-centric policy model for controlling access. All federal agencies have a set of IT security tools in place, but Zero Trust requires that it be viewed and operated holistically with identity and access management as the core, with the ability to enforce attribute and context-sensitive policies throughout the entire environment. Zero Trust is a set of guiding principles for workflow, policy, system design, and even operations. It's actually technology agnostic. It's an approach, not a single solution, and it's definitely not one size fits all. There are many different enterprise architectures that can be used to achieve the goals of Zero Trust. There's also actually a few industry-recognized models created by Forrester, Gartner, NIST, and most recently, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. All of these groups have released models for implementation as well as maturity models. Forrester released their model in 2010, and more recently, it was re-released as the Zero Trust Extended or ZTX model. It puts data at the center of the model and includes data classifications and protection as core requirements for Zero Trust. Gartner's model, Continuous Adaptive Risk and Trust Assessment, or CARTA, puts continuous risk at the center of their model as it pertains to users, devices, applications, and data workload. NIST has published a Zero Trust architecture document, which includes key principles as well as deployment models. Finally, the CISA Zero Trust maturity model represents implementation across 5 distinct pillars, where minor advancements can be made over time towards optimization. The pillars include identity, device, network, application workload, and data. Despite the model, Zero Trust enables fine-grained identity and context-sensitive access controls driven by an automated platform. Tantus has supported our customers in transitioning to Zero Trust architecture since 2020, including writing implementation white papers for CMS and helping our customers like Treasury, TTB adhere to principles of least privileged access, microsegmentation, credential-based authentication, including multi-factor authentication, while keeping TTB ahead of emerging technologies and looking for opportunities to refine the architecture. Because Zero Trust is a methodology with its tentacles in so many parts of the organization, we recommend an agile or incremental approach to implementation. Does Zero Trust have specific implications for healthcare settings? Absolutely. Healthcare organizations encapsulate a huge range of personnel that need access to a variety of device types. Some devices are on-prem, some are in the cloud, but no matter where they are located, securing access is fundamental to quality of care, protecting patient information, and allowing providers to make timely and informed decisions. Zero Trust creates specific implications in healthcare settings simply because of the number of assets being used and the broad range of users. Think about a hospital, everything from admin support staff to providers. Health organizations use some of the most complex networks and ecosystems and Internet of Things devices, including servers, X-ray machines, CAT scans, ultrasound machines. The average hospital room can contain over 10 medical devices. Add desktops, laptops, mobile devices, and other devices to that figure, and the total number of assets on a network per hospital is very complex. More importantly, healthcare settings face significant issues associated with timely access, as it can have severe consequences for patients and add additional steps for a provider community that's already facing burnout. Providers can't afford to have their access denied to a patient's records at a critical moment. Systems and applications need to be available for detection and diagnosis, especially in life or death situations. Staff need seamless access to critical files to provide the quality of care needed without compromising compliance. Every single device presents another avenue for risk and vulnerability, and it's difficult to keep track of every single device that's connecting to a healthcare network. With a Zero Trust model in place, healthcare organizations can effectively defend against the leading causes of data breaches like stolen passwords, password reuse, and user impersonation. We need to lean on elements of human-centered design when designing zero trust architecture to understand the impact on users, providers, and patients, but also to make sure we're achieving compliance in a way that allows for effective and efficient use of medical devices and systems in the healthcare setting. We need to understand and mitigate how zero trust controls may impact how we interact with systems. We can't overlook the potential implications and the risks that surrounds access in healthcare organizations. When used effectively, zero trust principles can continuously validate trust at every interaction point to strengthen data protection and preserve privacy. For example, authenticating a provider before they can open a medical record, or verifying privileged permissions before a virtual care appointment can start. We need to find the right balance between compliance and security, and human-centered design can be an effective means for achieving that balance. Many refer to zero trust as a journey and not a destination. I actually see it more like a moving target. As we move to adopt 5G, we are enabling a new wave of connected devices and services. As we rely on internet connectivity more than ever, the attack landscape grows and continues to change every single day. Moving to zero trust has to occur over several technology refresh cycles, but the landscape of threats is also simultaneously changing. As we look to embrace the benefits and protection that zero trust offers, we have to stay mindful that the supporting concepts, technologies, and policies will also need to evolve over time to maintain compliance and continue to recognize the benefits of zero trust. To learn more about zero trust implementation or compliance, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me. You can also find the latest guidance on zero trust online with the Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency found at CISA.gov. Thanks for joining today.